I just woke up to this letter and just wanted to read it really fast because I think it's important for people to know that they're not alone, and this is so common that people think like this when they're afraid that they possibly have HIV. And I don't know why it is that for me, and I don't know, it's just, we don't think this way once we have it. It's so different on the other side, and I just feel absolutely fine and normal. But somebody just wrote to me and said, Jennifer, I recently came across your channel and wanted to reach out and tell you what a great service I think that you are providing. You are incredibly brave and an absolute inspiration to me, and I'm sure a ton of others. As nearly 10 plus years of absolutely convincing myself, 10 years, thanks to Google and accepting that I have HIV, I finally found the courage to do one of the hardest and most nerve-wracking things I've ever done. Tonight I purchased and took an at-home HIV test. I'm still sitting here in numb, surreal state of disbelief that my results were negative. I had absolutely convinced myself to the point of being in a severe manic depressive state and thoughts of suicide that lasted for about the first 5 years. I had totally come to accept that I would not date or have kids and would live a lonely life of solitude. My whole life was up in the air. All of my dreams of marriage were out of the window, as the thought of having to live with that stigma was too much for me to deal with as I tried to figure out a new path. Tonight, I was fully prepared to accept the results and take this secret to my grave rather than tell anybody. I have always had social anxiety, but these last 10 years have severely amplified it. Through your bravery, knowledge, and comforting videos, I found the strength that eluded me up to this point. The stigma that surrounds HIV is overwhelming, and your work is incredibly valuable in replacing it with factual education. The thought of sitting in the health department waiting room as others stared was not a stigma I was prepared to take on. You think that others will know that you have it, and nobody does. That's the other thing that's really interesting. Nor was the idea of having to wait for several weeks for my results. Your video put out there the information about the in-home tests was invaluable. May we all do our parts in educating others and eroding the stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS. I pray that we as a community find a cure, and those suffering may someday soon laugh in the face of this virus. Once again, I cannot thank you enough for your bravery. I wish the absolute best for you and your family, your family's future. Thank you for doing what you do. You are welcome, and so sad to think that somebody wasted so much of their life worrying about this. I'm glad that he saw it and that he took a test and found out that he's going to be fine. I mean, he would have been fine either way.